Hi my fellow book lovers, welcome back to my channel. I literally tried to take you guys along with me and film a shop with me at Barnes & Noble, but the day that I went, which is on a Sunday, it was pretty busy and I was not expecting it to be that busy, so I kind of chickened out. I was only able to capture a few clips of the different sections that I was looking in, so I will show you guys those clips. And then we will go on to the book haul portion of the video. Yes, we're going to roll the clip now.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book shopping with me. I wanted to go to Barnes & Noble and just browse and see what kind of books they had, but I also wanted to sign up for the Barnes & Noble membership, so that is why I wanted to come to this store today. And so I'm going to be bringing you guys along to shop with me.
Is House of Hollow. This is what the cover looks like. I really liked the premise of this book. So it is about a girl and two of her sisters. They disappear one day, and when they come back, they start to change their appearance. Like it has to do with supernatural, maybe something witchy is going on, but they start to look different. And years later, they're trying to get their lives back on track. They don't really remember what happened when they disappeared. But one of the sisters, she disappears again, and now it's up to our main character and the remaining sister to try to figure out what's going on and what might have happened to them when they had vanished those years before. I really like the cover of this book. I think that was one of the main reasons why I gravitated towards this book, because I really like the face of the girl and the flowers. And then I read the back and I was like, oh, it actually does sound interesting. I don't know why, but when I go into bookstores, the covers are like the first thing that I'm drawn to, and then I read the summary later to decide if I will purchase the book or not. But this was on this book, they were having the buy one, get one 50% off sale, so I took advantage of that and picked up another book to go along with this sale. The second book that I got to go along with the buy one, get one 50% off is The Bone Witch. It's almost like the same thing as the first book that I showed, but this one is about a girl who comes from a family of witches, but her power is different from all the witches that are in the kingdom. She is a bone witch, so I'm guessing she's able to bring maybe people back from the dead or control, I think it says like control like beasts and animals. So she is sent away to train with like an elder witch, but her position as a witch is like threatened because there is a war going on between the witches and I guess other things in the different kingdoms of the main character's world. So it's just like a fantasy novel about witches and different kingdoms and I guess war. I love books about witches, and so there's not really a theme going on, but obviously the first two books involve like supernatural and witchy stuff. But this sounds very interesting, and I also love the cover of this book as well. So that probably was my biggest problem with my book shopping this trip, was that the covers were getting me instead of like the actual summaries. I would just see a pretty cover and I would just go straight for that book and be like, hey, what is this book about? I'm interested to see how this one goes. The next book that I'm going to show you guys is a book that I saw the movie for it and I really like it. It is in the horror genre, so it's a scary story, but this book, like, I've been wanting to get it for a while, so I decided to get it, and it is The Shining by Stephen King. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen the movie, or like you've seen a reference or memes about the movie where it's like the twins in the hotel, like the hallway hotel, haunting the little boy on the bicycle. So The Shining is about a family who moves into a hotel. They're going to take care of the hotel, and each member of the family, they start to have their own issues with things that are going on in the hotel, like supernatural things that are happening. The father becomes crazy and tries to kill them. The mother gets a little bit terrified of the things, and I think the little boy, he's 4 years old. He's like the first one to notice that something was off about the hotel. So this is going to be the story of like the family dealing with the supernatural stuff that is going on in the hotel and how they're going to get themselves out of it. So I love this movie, and I already know I'm going to love the book as well. And Stephen King is such a great author. I love all his like thriller horror books, and I love the movie adaptations of those books. They are just brilliant and amazing, and I'm excited for this one. The next two books in the haul is books that I've been wanting to get. They've been on my TBR list for a while, and I've been like going back and forth on deciding if I wanted to pick up these two books or not. But when I went to the bookstore, I just decided to go ahead and pick them up because I really, really wanted them. Like, even if I'm not going to be reading them right away, I just want them on my shelves. The first book is The Raven Boys. This has been all over social media, TikTok, YouTube. Everyone always raves about The Raven Boys, and I finally picked it up. It's going to take me a long time till I actually get to reading this book, but I just wanted to pick it up. So The Raven Boys is about a girl named Blue who has the gift of clairvoyancy, so she's able to talk to the dead. So one day she meets a boy, obviously he is dead, and he is a part of the Raven Boys. Now the Raven Boys are the name of the students who go to this private school, and the main character Blue has, you know, promised that she would never get involved with those boys, but in seeing this dead boy from the private school, it kind of brings her into the world of the Raven Boys, and she kind of starts to question things that she had set for herself in the past. And there was this thing that she was told where she would be the reason that her true love died, but she doesn't really believe in true love, and I guess that's going to change. now that she's introduced to the Raven Boys. And I also like how it's like they show you like the 4 boys in the front. I don't even know like who's who, but I'm like excited to find out like what is the Raven Boys about. Like, why were they given the name the Raven Boys if that's not even the name of the private school? If the Raven Boys is like they're named after like a mascot, is it like a secret club like the Masons? There's just so much questions that I have about this book that I cannot wait to have answered when I get to reading it, which is going to be a long time from now. The next book that I really wanted to purchase and just went ahead and picked up was The Poppy Wars. Again, like with the Raven Boys, I really wanted this book on my bookshelf, even though I'm not going to get around to reading it anytime soon. But The Poppy War is about a girl who discovers she has the shaman gift in a military school. So she's training in a military school. She's discriminated against because of like her gender, the color of her skin, and her economic background. She is from a poor family, but a lot of people really want her to further their agenda, and there is a war brewing. There's talks of gods in this book, and how the gods that they thought were actually like not really alive, they're actually real, and she's chosen to have this shaman gift, and it's basically kind of up to her to almost help save her kingdom. Not the kingdom, this has empires. It's up to her to save her empire and use her shaman gift for good, I guess. This book sounds very interesting. I don't really have a lot of book that has a lot of like Asian culture in it, and that is why I really wanted to get this book. All right guys, we are down to the last 5 books in this haul. They are all from the same author, and once you realize what author it is, you're going to kind of get an idea of what my next videos are going to be about. So I've been debating this for a while, going back and forth on if I wanted to dive into these novels, if I wanted to read anything by this author. After seeing multiple videos on YouTube, TikTok, had personal recommendations from my friends that are also readers, I decided to go ahead and do this. So I am going to be doing a reading vlog soon of me reading a few of Colleen Hoover's books. Yes, I'm going to be reading Colleen Hoover. Finally decided to jump on that bandwagon, so I picked up 5 of her books. I had a long conversation with the bookseller at Barnes & Noble, and she was like telling me all of the books that she recommends for Colleen Hoover. I had already had these books as a recommendation from my friend, so I already knew I was going to pick up these books, but the bookseller convinced me that once I'm done reading these books to come back and pick up more of Colleen Hoover's books. She said I'm going to love everything, so I'm going to take her word for it. I'm going to take my friends' words for it, and I'm also going to take everyone's word for it that have been raving about Colleen Hoover online. So let's start with the 5 books that I picked up. So the first book that I got from Colleen Hoover is Without Merit. Now, Without Merit is about this girl named Merit who is almost like the black sheep of her family. She is in charge of holding the family's secrets, and it said something about her getting trophies for her families. I do not know what that means, but we will find out when we read this book. So she meets this boy named Sagan, and it kind of shakes up her world, because for the first time she starts to feel something for someone, but then she finds out he's unavailable, and that shatters her. So she makes this elaborate plan to escape her family after finally just getting fed up with everyone and revealing the family secrets and just letting everyone know that the perfect family that her family tries to be is far from the truth. But obviously, because this is fiction and you gotta have the dramatics in there, her escape plan failed, and now she is forced to face the consequences of her telling the truth and revealing her family's secrets. Now, I don't know if that's drama. Like, I don't know what I would do if I'm like forced to be with people after you just like revealed like a bombshell. I'd be like, can I just crawl under a hole and die? But this sounds very interesting, so I cannot wait to read Without Merit. The next book I have is Reminders of Him. Now, this one is about a girl named Kenna who spent 5 years in prison, and once she gets out, she wants to rekindle with her 4-year-old daughter. But one thing that doesn't make sense to me is she spent 5 years in jail, in prison or whatever, but her daughter's 4 years old. Like, I'm sorry, but the math isn't mathing for me. So like, did she have the daughter in jail? Like, I'm so confused. Did she get pregnant in jail? That makes no sense. Or is the daughter turning 5? I don't know how she's 4 and she spent 5 years in jail. Someone explain that to me. But everyone is trying to keep her away from the daughter despite how hard she tries. She finally meets this guy named Ledger at a bar. He's the only one who's giving her a chance, but their relationship is a big risk and it can damage the trust that everyone around them has. But they are still willing to, take that risk and just, see what happens, see if they fall in love, and see if they can try to get Kenna to be back in her daughter's life. The next one I got is Ugly Love. Now, this book is a little bit out of my comfort zone. I really don't like reading books that focuses too much on romance, but hey, I said I would dive into some of Colleen Hoover's books, so these are some of the top books that people, praise. So Ugly Love is about this boy and a girl who immediately have like an attraction for each other, but from the start they said they were going to do this kind of like friends with benefits, no emotions attached, but obviously emotions will be attached. Now, the main character, male in this book, I don't remember what his name is. His name is Miles. Now, Miles has set up some rules for Tate, which is our main character girl, and the rules include 2 things. Never ask about the past and do not expect a future. And what does Tate do? Probably asks about the past and probably expects the future, because she most definitely probably caught feelings for Miles. So I'm excited to see what happens in this book. I'm all for a little dramatic love story situation, even though like I really don't like reading romance, and I'm trying so hard to read romance, so I hope you guys are right that this book is really good, or else I'm gonna be so sad. This next book from Colleen Hoover is November 9th. Now, the girls on TikTok have been raving about this book a lot, and I hope that you guys, again, are right about this book being good. Now, November 9th is about a girl named Fallon who meets a novelist named Ben on the last day she's supposed to be in LA. Now, she's supposed to be moving across country. They meet each other, and I guess it's like the right person, wrong time situation, but in spending that whole day with each other, they, I guess, developed feelings and decided that every year on that same day they're going to come and meet each other. But after some few years, I guess, Fallon starts to feel a little sus about Ben, and she's wondering if he's been lying to her or just making this relationship seem more than it really is just for her benefit. Or it could be just like he's just trying to get like a plot together so he has a good book to write. Who knows? Maybe he does love her, maybe he doesn't, maybe he's just using her to write his book. Guess we won't know until we read November 9th. The last book that I got, which I feel like is the top book that all Colleen Hoover fans recommend to people, is Verity. I got it, I'm going to read it. So Verity is about a author or a struggling author who gets hired to finish a novel for a famous author named Verity. When the struggling writer goes to Verity's home with her husband Jeremy, so the main character's name is Lauren. So Lauren is going to be writing Verity's books. She discovers a manuscript, and this manuscript is like, it tells a lot of stuff that happened during some sort of tragic accident, and that is the reason why Verity's incapable of finishing the book. And so she wants to hide this manuscript from Jeremy, but after like developing some feelings for him, she decides that maybe it's best if he reads what his wife has written down, because what she has wrote is going to shock everyone, and it's going to explain what happened during the accident that like changed the family's life. I already know a few things about this book, so like I'm just like, I know this entire book, but I really don't care. I'm still excited to read it, and I want to see if I am on the I'm on the bandwagon of like either believing the manuscript or not believing the manuscript. So I want to know what's actually written in it. Like I have a general idea of the book, but I don't really know like every single detail, so I'm still going in blind. I don't know everything. But yes, Verity has been recommended to me for the longest time, and I knew I wanted to get around to it, so I bit the bullet and picked it up. So those were the 5 Colleen Hoovers that I decided to get. I will be doing a mesh up vlog of me reading all of these books and telling you what I thought of every single one of them. It's not going to be a video that is going to be posted anytime soon because I have other reading vlogs that I am working on currently, but I'm excited for all of these books that I got. I was really happy with all the finds that I got at Barnes & Noble's, and I'm so happy to now have a Barnes & Noble membership. And I know that's gonna be bad and it's going to make me want to buy more books, but my goal is to probably only visit Barnes & Noble like maybe once a month, so that can be under control. There's just so many things that I want to read, and I'm slowly getting back into like a groove of reading like more than 3 books a month, and summer is coming up, so I'm so happy to be reading, and I'm so happy to have all of these books. I'm surprisingly really excited for Colleen Hoover. Comment down below if you guys have read any of these Colleen Hoover books or any of the other books that I purchased in today's video. So that is the end of the haul, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and come back for my next video. Bye!